Yes, it's me, Mike Stone, and this is the Backseat Driver Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Gas Shocks, home of the 116 Trophy, a 120 Coupe Cup, Hoddy Tyres. Find the best tyres for your vehicle with top brands to keep you covered in every season and under every condition. And Tarox Brakes, the art of slowing down. Precision engineered in Italy for ultimate performance. You can find the details of all our sponsors in the show notes. A few weeks ago, I was at a steam rally and chatting to a gentleman with a steam traction engine and a leading light in the Northwest Vintage Machinery Club. He came out with a phrase that piqued my interest. I bought a steam traction engine because I wanted a daft hobby. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Andrew Mawdsley to the Backseat Driver. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you.
Why did you buy a steam traction engine as a daft hobby? Because it would seem that there is something of a committed thing.
Oh, yes, for sure there. I suppose it's like any relationship, and that's what you have with them. I did cease relationship with my good lady, so I thought I needed to do something a little bit out there. And
Any comment on from her that the fact she was replaced with a steam traction engine, the name of which, if memory serves, is Evening Star?
that is correct, yeah.
Go on. How did you get into them? Because I get the feeling before that you weren't.
No. Well, like I say, it come where I really needed to do something and have a hobby that was that keep me tired and keep me busy and stuff. So we bought it as a bit of a wreck, really, to be honest. I got my two lads and we went down to Gloucestershire. I heard about a chap who wanted to sell one. It was in poor order, and I thought that might be the ticket for me.
Yeah. Because I was fortunate many years ago to interview and become decent friends with the one, the only Mr. Fred Dibner. And I know he restored one of his, and restoring a steam traction engine is no minor undertaking, is it? I mean, it's serious.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not for the girls, as they say. There's a lot involved, more than probably I ever realised myself. With all the rivets and the firebox and the whole hit of it all, it takes some doing. It really does.
So what state was it in?
A very poor state. I mean, the main thing on any steam traction engine is the firebox, which
is that what you and I would call a boiler?
Yeah. And it's basically where the fire goes. And over the years, obviously, I mean, I think it was 96 or 7 years old, I think, when I bought it. So she'd done.
So quite new in many respects.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these are seriously old, aren't they?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they go back some time. But they go thin, they should be a certain thickness, and it was in poor order, and it was beyond repair, the firebox, so it needed a full strip down.
Yeah, because did you do it yourself or?
Yeah.
Get it done.
At first, we was going to get some help and get it done, and then I got chatting with a couple of nice fellas who said they'd guide me along.
Yeah.
I think his exact words were, "You've got somewhere to bite there." And I thought, come on, let's have it done with a good friend of mine, Robert Ball. He's a top bloke. He helped me, and we did it between us.
Yeah. So, how long did it take?
We had it done probably, I think about 18 months.
Yeah.
We did very well. Apparently, these things, because they said it'll take you a decade to sort it out. But
what Fred told me was the problem comes with the boiler, and you have to have it inspected and all sorts of things before they'll say, yes, you can use it. Otherwise, it's a very, very large, heavy ornament, isn't it?
Oh, very much so, yeah. They do what they call a hydraulic test on them,
yeah,
which is 10 years, really up the pressure from working pressure. Like I say, that's 10 years, but for whatever reason I don't know, it's a 14-month test. Which you do on it and test everything out.
So is it like an MOT, for want of a better thing?
Yeah, they don't physically do an MOT as in for the road. It's more of a safety issue because obviously it's a steam vehicle, which is people don't realise it's a mobile bomb,
I was going to say, I conclude the test is to satisfy themselves and the general public that this thing's not going to blow up.
That is correct. It's all about the safety side of it.
What pressure do they generate inside?
The particular one I have,
what make is yours? I said it's called Evening Star, but they all have a make, don't
It's an Availing. It's an Availing Porter, yeah, which did a lot of steamrollers and stuff. There's numerous different ones.
Yeah.
It just happens to be an Availing that built in 1911. So she's creeping on a bit now, but she's in good order. She is in good order, yeah.
Do you know what it did for its working life when it was new, and who owned it?
There is a plate on it that goes back, and there's no reason that it's not original because these things are a heavy bit of kit. The plate, not the vehicle itself.
Yeah.
Which is Devon County Council.
Right.
So it'll be, and a lot of councils did have them in a day because they are a working vehicle bought for doing the job.
I conclude it tall because it's not a steamroller yours, is it?
It is a steamroller.
Oh, it is a steamroller.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and they're not very quick. What do they do when you're giving it plenty?
Oh, it's only you're only 5 miles an hour. Maybe 6 on a good day.
So, are you able to travel far with it, or do you travel far with it?
I only did a few local shows. Sometimes we'll have a ride out on a Sunday and we'll do a few miles. But yeah, you can cover some ground in them if you wish to. What we do have as well is a living van.
Right, because I know Fred had one of them, and they're actually quite comfortable things in their own way.
They're quite cosy, yeah. We have a little sink and a fire in it and a few beds in it, so you're not catching any harm.
Yeah.
What they used to do back in the day, sometimes they'd have those parked up on a farmyard somewhere. Allegedly, have a young lad maybe just chuck a few carrots and spuds in a pan, sort of thing, and so they'd have something to eat when they got back from doing the day's graft, and then crack on, get the jobs done, and off to the next village, so to speak.
Because the interesting thing was, all the ones I've seen all have little coal-powered stoves in them, so you can't get away from coal power, can you?
Not a lot, no. It's all about coal and water.
How many gallons of water does it hold, and how long does it last?
It's there's good question. There's probably about 130 gallon in the tender and in the boiler itself.
Yeah.
Which it is all about water. We probably only do not many miles, and then we have to refill the tender with water.
Yeah. But even whilst it's at a show, whilst it's stationary, whilst it's running, it's busy using coal and water, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just ticking over, and it's the balance of, because you have to keep your fire going, let's say, ticking over. You don't want it too hasty, otherwise you're back to it blowing off steam and you're wasting it.
Yeah.
So you just need to keep your fire just steady away, but keep topping the water up, keeping a balance of it all, really,
And I conclude it's like they show in a lot of old films, when they get in a steam train ready first thing in the morning. You have to get them going, haven't you?
Oh yeah, it's a 2-hour job, not far off anyway. When from first flicking a match on a couple of pieces of paper and lighting a wood fire like similar you do at home, and then you get it going a little bit and keep adding to it, and it just warms itself up steady away.
Because you have to get all the coals and the flames about it have to be even out there. You don't just have it in like I will do in a wood burning stove.
No, it's to be pretty spread out.
Don't it?
Yeah, because the whole the box, the firebox, is surrounded by water.
Yeah.
It's like a box in a box with a cavity full of water. So you want to boil all that water quite evenly and steadily, which obviously creates steam. You'll be
never short of a pot of tea, really, will you?
Not really, no.
Okay. Now, is the water that comes out if you make a cup of tea, is it clean when it comes in?
It's not so sparkling.
All right. You've got to tell me, do you ever make it like baiting an eggs hot shovel that feeds the boiler?
We have done, yeah. If you keep a nice, clean, separate shovel, it can be done.
Yeah.
One thing we do shove potatoes into the ash pan underneath.
Yeah.
Which are absolute beautiful. You always seem to, people come from nowhere when we start pulling them out, put a bit of butter on it. It's.
What temperature do they run at?
I'm not 100% sure if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I conclude at the end of each day or whatever, unless you keep them going, you'll have to empty. It'll be like the good old days of a coal fire, won't it? You'll have to scrape all ash out and everything else.
Yeah, that's it. You've got it's like a big long hook, and you get it in and just like scrape your grate clean, really, if you will. So all your ash falls in your ash pan.
Yeah.
Tend to leave that till the morning after, so it's obviously cooled down, and rake this ash pan out, which is, you know, quite some size, really. You know, but,
it's not like you had under your fire in your
no, it's probably about 4 foot long and a good 2 foot wide, if not, and 5 or 6 inch deep. You know, so you're a sack full of ash coming out. You know.
And if you're running all day, how much coal do you get through? Because I noticed at that show, there a truck turned up, because there are quite a lot of steam traction engines there, and it were fairly loaded up with coal.
Yeah. I think we'd 4 ton there that day. I think I'm not sure. I think it was 12 engines. So you ticking over like that, you're not doing a lot because you're not. But if you was working them, or once you start driving, you know, you're eating through it. You know.
Yeah. And there's the big thing, is it which is best coal? They used to say it were from Wales, didn't they?
Well, yeah, apparently, yeah. There's always an argument over that. It's a bit like politics, really. People argue about it left, right, and centre. Some are better than others, like it all, really.
I must confess, being ignorant of this matter, to me, coal looks like coal.
Yeah, it does vary. It really does.
And I know when I was a kid, my grandparents put a lot of value on slack.
Yeah.
Which was like small bits of coal and dust, and apparently that works well. So do you use a different coal to get them going, and then top up with a different one or anything like that?
No. You started off with wood, you know.
Yeah.
Screw the paper up like you do on a fire dome. Get some sticks or bits of pallets, or
not zip firelighters.
No,
I remember
none of them
as a kid.
We don't need them. Usually, a lot of people said they put a bit of oil or paraffin on a rag and put that in, you know. But you do get it going with wood. Anything basically you get your hands on. You could chuck fence panels in it, whatever you fancy. You know what I mean? Take your old dining room doors off if you wish, but get it going off on wood, and then because bear in mind, like I say, it takes 1.5 to 2 hours, so you'll have a good hour on wood, and then just keep flicking a little bit of coal on steady away, and then they're ready for off.
Now, looking at yours, and they all seem relatively the same, the steering is done by a great huge chain.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
How difficult are they to drive?
It's not so bad. They're pretty good, really, because you just got.
Because you won't get power steering, will you?
Definitely not. No, definitely not. We've got you've got a decent size 16-inch maybe steel wheel.
Yeah.
With a little hook on, so you can, because you have to flick it around pretty fast at times.
Yeah.
And like you say, they've got this big chain on either side, basically pulling it right to the go right and left to go left. You know.
Yeah.
On like a worm. That's how it works. So as you're turning it, it's pulling the wheel whichever way.
Yeah.
Seems very primitive, but it's effective and it works.
Yeah.
You know, and touch wood, it's never broke.
Yeah. And I conclude, unless I'm wrong, do they have brakes?
Not particularly, no. It's always a bit interesting when somebody flies in front of you to start filming you.
Yeah.
I take photographs and you're waving your hands at them saying, I can't stop. You know.
We're not waving at you because we're pleased to see you.
So you've just got to be aware of modern traffic, I think we'll call it.
So are there any laws govern them being driven on the road?
Not particular as I know of, no.
Yeah.
I think you can actually drive them on a L plate license, I think.
All right.
So
you've got to be able to drive. You've got to pass the driving test.
No, not officially. I think you just need a provisional license. I think you could drive it, but obviously not many people would.
Yeah.
You know, I'd never driven one myself on the road until I bought one.
Yeah.
I'd never even steamed one up or anything. You know, it's this little boy's dream scenario.
Yeah.
You know.
So, I mean, underneath, you always want it to be a train driver, really.
Well, possibly, yeah. But I needed more freedom than sitting on a track.
Yeah. Now, it's like I mentioned, you're a leading light on the Northwest Vintage Machinery Club. I mean, what is that about? Because it's not going to be all traction engines, is it?
No. The club was it was set up in the early 90s, not by myself, by a few other enthusiasts. I got involved with a local coal man, Jack, and his son, John, who deliver coal around China, Richard and Charlie. And we just got chatting one day about it all, and I started getting involved with them, which probably is 20 years ago nearly.
Yeah.
And they do a lot, and we have this Northwest Vintage Machinery Club, which, like you say, covers cars. I mean, this show we do have, we call it Heskin Steam Vintage Rally.
Yeah.
We do every year to raise money for charity.
Which is in the village of Eskin, isn't it?
Which is, just in the next village, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one of the charities.
Confusingly, Eskin Hall isn't in Eskin.
Yeah. So the club's set up there, but it covers cars, tractors, motorbikes, stationary engines, the full eight. And luckily we do have quite a few, different people, volunteers who are so interested in it, and it just helps click it all together.
Yeah.
People to have a good day out.
Because one thing that was there, they always amused me, are these miniature steam vehicles. Now, are they built by their owners, or who builds these little things?
Well, a lot of them are built by their owners, but they did apparently used to build a miniature, such as, let's say, somewhere in South Africa or wherever around the world, wanted a steam engine, and they would build a miniature and send it to them.
Yeah.
And said, this is what you'll get, but it's going to be
It'll be
a lot
full
bigger.
Size, yeah. This is a 1/42.
Yeah.
What you'll get is 1-to-1.
But a lot of enthusiasts do like those now, and you can get quite a numerous different varieties of sizes because they can fit in on your trailer behind your Jeep and in your garage.
Yeah.
Where obviously, like you saw with ours, they're a lump.
But I conclude the miniatures go through the same process.
Exactly the same, yeah. Same inspections and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to be right.
But most of the miniatures I've seen do tend to be based on if it's a truck. Because, I mean, in the good old days, we had steam trucks before wagons, as we know them, appeared. With the Forden.
Mm.
Now, are there any of the big Forden trucks still about?
There is one or two, yeah. Yeah, very rare and pretty expensive as well. But there is a few wagons about, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot in the war back in the day, like the Forden truck. You know, I was only somewhere the other week and I saw a picture, I can't just think where I was now, in a pub somewhere, and it was in Cheshire there, and did a row of these coming out the factory, you know, and it was, what a picture.
Yeah.
You know.
Because, I mean, Forden was like it morphed into ERF, which was Eric and Robert Forden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, very, very famous truck manufacturer. Regrettably, another one that's vanished.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So, is it something you would recommend anybody get into, or is it a serious undertaking? Does it take up a lot of your time?
It can do. I mean, it's like everything. It takes as much time up as you want. I don't have as much time as I'd wish to spend on it. I did when I first got. I mean, I only realised the other day talking to yourself that, I've had it 17 years now, where I thought I'll get this for a few years and then, move on to something else. And
yeah.
Here we are still there.
But you haven't found anything as daft.
Probably not, no.
But the one thing it is used for, in an indirect way, you're very heavily involved with your own charity, aren't you?
Yeah. Not as much as I was again, but we did set this up. Like I said to you, we're going on too much about that.
No, carry on.
Me two sons are disabled, and we set up this Rainbow Hub many years ago.
Yeah.
To hell with them, I'm probably in a position that I wouldn't have probably not done it if it hadn't been for them. So we set it up, and it's grown and grown and grown. Ironically, my children don't go there anywhere, but there's a lot of children it helps a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a
so
really
what exactly is it?
It's all to help disabled children, Alsace cerebral palsy, the one that everybody knows, but it's tax on, a mass range of disabilities, and a lot of these kiddies need some help, they really do. So we give quite a bit of money off this particular rally we do every year.
Yeah.
Obviously we have a committee, we all have a chat about it. Not going off to something else, but Lions help us out a lot on the car park, so we always donate to them. And sometimes it's St. Catherine's, but Rainbow Hub is down the road, and we if we raise money, everything that comes through that gate goes back.
Yeah. So because as a builder by trade, did you build the building?
I did originally, yeah. That was another feather in the cap or achievement. I'm not quite sure. Well, maybe crazy thing to do. I'm not sure, but we got there in the end.
I mean, what is the building? I mean, it to a better description, it looks a little bit like a school in its own.
It is like I would say a mini school. It's just been extended again. Quite
Courtesy of you.
no, it's somebody else had managed. They've raised a lot more money now, and they've extended it quite a lot. Because we built the main building with offices above, but they needed the classrooms and such like, and we did a little track and a mini road scene with a playground and everything. But it's moved on again since. They've raised a lot of money. They do very well, and some local businesses have helped them again move to another level, really. Which is great. It really is.
So does your traction engine make appearances there?
No. I frightened everybody to death, I think.
So, I mean, how many events do you take the traction engine to each year?
We only used to do about 3, and we only do the one at Eskin now.
Yeah.
Because we do drive it there. And again, due to time and other commitments with me sons as well, there's not enough hours in the day for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm pulled here and there, so I do struggle to go. And sometimes I like to take them so I can spend time with them, not the engine.
Yeah.
But we're all enjoying different rallies.
Do you go on the engine? Do you leave it at home and just go in a car?
No, we go in a car, yeah.
Now, one thing, before we went on air, you are something of a car enthusiast, aren't you?
I do like my vehicles, yeah. I've got 1 or 2, yeah.
Yeah, go on. Just give us a clue what you've got.
Right.
And basically, why?
Well, like I say, my friend Robert, people kept saying to me, why have you bought this? Why have you bought that? And the phrase we have is, because we can.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with that.
All of us enthusiasts, that's why we get them, because we can.
Yeah.
Whether it be tractors. I've got some old Austins, I like stuff from the 20s, 30s. They think they've got a beautiful shape to them. I think we've lost all that with cars, but that's another story now. These vehicles I've got a nice bit. I always think they're built like a woman. They're all slightly different, but they've got a bit of shape to them.
Yeah. I mean, a friend of mine, and he's been on the show, Dave Matthewson, Bangers and Cash, and chatted to him. Cars like that from the 20s and the 30s, the number of people who like them and want to own them and run them is dwindling.
Very much so, yeah. Very much so.
So, I mean, how do you find are there any youngsters or younger people coming on board with the classic car movement who are taking an interest in these?
I think there is, but they're going for, the later cars, like the magic word, the Fords, like the 70s stuff and the 80s.
Yeah.
I really do think the 20s, 30s it is dying out. There's still people interested, but the values obviously are dropping because you've not got the same amount of interest in them. I did sell I've had Rolls Royces and all sorts, and I did sell a few things of the 30s, but I finished up buying stuff back because I just think they're lovely.
Yeah.
I really do. They're made proper. They look good. I've got stuff into the 40s and 50s as well, but, I like my early cars.
Yeah.
I do.
I suppose the problem is there is an art to driving cars of that age, isn't there?
Very much so, yeah.
I mean, a fast 20s car might, under favourable conditions, unless you've got certain ones like Bugattis and vintage Bentleys, achieve about 55, 60 mile an hour. The other problem is, once you've attained that speed, and I have driven Austin 7s, and there's the famous song that plays, Ain't No Stopping Us Now. I know full well, I was told, and the one I drove had brakes on all 4 wheels. Of course, a lot of them, the Austin 7s, only had on the rear wheels. Get it into first, shove the brake pedal down to the floor, and you will get it down there quite easily, and then pull the handbrake on, and eventually it will come to a halt. I suppose it's trying to get across to a younger driver or somebody who's never driven one. This is how you stop them.
Yeah.
All being well before you clatter your car in front.
This is very true. You're not stopping on a penny, that's for sure, like Monaco. And like you say, your cable brakes would usually just brakes on the back, and you need this, And like you say, you can pull the handbrake and hope for the best. You're not stopping quick, but that's all part of it. And it's how you used to driving these vehicles. You can't just jump on it and go like an idiot. And some of the cars I've got, the accelerator is in the middle.
Yes.
They're not all the old ABC,
Yeah.
the accelerator, brake and clutch. And again, with Bentleys there and Rolls Royces, and the gear sticks on your right-hand side.
Which is why a lot of the time it's easier to get in through front passenger door.
This is correct, yeah. I know a lot of them was chauffeur driven in the day. And I've got cars as well that don't even have doors on the driver's side.
Yes.
They're not there.
Yeah.
The early stuff.
But the other beauty of it is a friend of mine used to have a 1930s Bentley. Stunning machine. It had been bodied by Kellner in Paris. The one thing that threw him, all the instrumentation was in French. And I had to take him through them and tell him what it meant. I said, it's relatively self-explanatory. But once you got that into fourth gear, you drove it like an automatic. It had so much torque. You could virtually drop to about 5 miles an hour in top gear. And once the lights changed to green or the traffic in front moved, you just hit the gas pedal and the thing just pulled away. No coughing, no spluttering, no please drop into third gear. It just pulled away.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. And there's a few vehicles like that, and very much so that you can.
Okay, it tended to be the bigger engine ones.
Yeah, but you can let her like cruise down, like you're saying, to not much speed, and then just put your foot down. She nicely just picks it up again,
Yeah.
Again, just I think beautiful engineering in itself.
Yeah. So, I mean, how do you think you will get younger people into proper old cars?
It's a good question. I mean, everybody likes things for a different reason, don't they? I got into them because many years ago when I was a young lad, there was a local fella, and he used to have quite a few. I liked the looks of them then, started tinkering about with stuff.
And just putting in back then, not be no disrespect, they wouldn't be expensive to buy, would they?
No, not in the early days. I mean, you're back to. I actually went to a Bentley lunch. I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago. I was chatting with a nice gentleman there, and as you do, what have you got? What's this? What's that? What have you coming today? And he was telling me he knew where there was two. This gentleman was in his late 70s. And he said, as a young lad, he said he knew where there was two Bentleys, and he managed to talk his dad to lend him some money, and he paid £300 for this. It was a 3-litre Bentley.
Yeah.
The other one was £400, and his mate managed to get his hands on it.
Yeah.
Who had only recently sold that. Now, his daughter was saying, Dad, you need to be selling yours. And his exact words were, and I can well understand this. Listen, love, it's yours. You'll have to sell it when I'm gone because it's going nowhere.
Yeah.
He's a job to drive it now, but it's sat in the garage.
Yeah.
But in relation to the money, his friend got 400,000.
Yeah.
For it when he sold it a few years ago. So they've gone up a bit.
I mean, it reminds me of a previous guest, a guy called Michael Manns in America, who has done many things because it's a name that's familiar to a lot of people. But his core business is restoring cars. And he was saying a brother and sister came to him a couple of years ago with a very, very rare Jaguar that their father had owned, and it was sat in the garage. And when their father passed, they opened the garage doors, and there it sat in quite decent condition. And they contacted Michael and said, would you have a look at this? Yeah. Does it need restoring? He said, well, it doesn't need restoring, but it does require what you might call regenerative work. It needs bringing back, but it doesn't need a full restoration, but it'll have to be recommissioned. He said, and I've told them how much it will cost, and they were a little bit shocked. He said, then I told them how much the car would be worth when it had been brought back to life. He said, the look on their face changed dramatically. He said, so when it's been done, and they went ahead and did it, it's then up to you what you do with it. He said, but I'll tell you now, he said, I've done this on a few occasions. He said, when it's finished and it's up and it's running and you can use it, it's surprising how many people actually keep it.
Mm.
It reminds them of their father, their parents, and other bits and pieces. And they suddenly discover they can't bring themselves to part with this car anymore. Now, I don't know whether that's the same thing with the Bentley. I think the problem is a fully restored or something like a vintage Bentley. People now know what they're worth, and some of them are worth 7 figures. It's how desperate are you for the money? I mean, if you're desperate for the cash, sell it. But if you're not, it's a hell of a thing to own, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, there'd be nothing more beautiful than having something like that in the garage. And like you say, and sometimes when you're driving cars, and you do, it sounds silly sometimes, but you start to have a relationship with it, and you get to love the car.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, quirkiness, the way it does this, the way it does that, just the drive of it all, the passion, the love for the vehicle. Like you say, sometimes you might just look at it and go, no chance, but then you start getting involved with it, and it's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
You know, I've done it with a few cars where I've used them for a few years, and then suddenly they've slipped to the back of the garage, and I've not used them the same, you know. But you do start to grow, and they're all different in their own way.
Yeah. Besides the steam traction engine, which appears to have become a predominant part of your life, what's your favourite car? What have you got that's your favourite, and what have you had that you wish you'd never parted with?
It's a tough question, is that. I did sell a Rolls Royce, and it finished up going abroad. I can't just think where it went now, into a museum.
Worst thing you can ever do with him, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it was, but I just thought it was time for it to go somewhere else, really.
What model was it?
It was a 2025. It was, ironically, I did. Jack, who was the founder, unfortunately, who's not with us now. I did his daughter's wedding with that car, because he said to me it was the nicest Rolls Royce he'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And he said, well, and I said, of course I would. And I did the wedding with it. That was another good day in itself. But yeah, that went. But they're all, like I say, they're all different. I've got a lovely bullnose Morris.
Yeah.
I think that's a 24. That came off the East Coast, and it still has it's a wooden dashboard. It's a little tag, a leather tag the size of your finger, and it's got the original stamp and the telephone number of a garage on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And it was getting warm, and I sent it to a chap in Leeds to have the radiator record.
Yeah.
It's the honeycomb, and it's a rounded shape, so it's quite the later one was a flat nose, they call it. Anyway, he rebuilt the radiator, sorry, and there was a hole in the top of this bull nose.
Yeah.
Needless where the damage had been done, and he got a bullet out of it. It was funny. And he said to me, do you want me to cover it over? And I said, no. I said, obviously seal it all up.
Yeah.
Because it's nicely chromed. And I said, just leave the mark. It's about the size of your eyeball, really. Yeah. And I said, that's the history of a car.
Have you kept the bullet?
And no, it were all just mandled up. It were nothing. So we actually nicknamed the car the Bullet.
Yeah.
You know, that's a Tourer, you know, there's no roof on it at all. It's a beautiful car. I really like that. It's very chitty bang bang type, you know.
But you won't have any knowledge of who shot it?
No. No.
Either by accident or was it by intent?
Well, you never know back in the day, do you? And the other thing you forget, don't you? These cars have seen something, haven't they? You know, they've got history, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's been a war and stuff gone on, you know, as well as other things.
Because, I mean, I used to know somebody who had a beautiful, I think that was a 2025, and when he owned it, it was a pickup.
Yeah.
Because of wartime needs, the body was chopped off, and the back of it was a pickup.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of them were parked up. I think with the petrol rations, if I got it right, as well. But if they were a usable pickup stroke vehicle that could be used for various things, you was allowed petrol rations.
Yeah.
If it was just a car, you weren't allowed to use it.
No.
You know. So needless to say, some of them turned into vans and pickups and various other things.
And I know this guy who thought he was saying, you're not going to put it back to the saloon it should be. And he said, no. He said, if I do that, he said, I'm killing its history.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, it's all history in its own way, isn't it?
Yeah. So, have you any intentions to expand your collection of steam traction engines?
Not
Could you be tempted? Because, no, from the sounds of it, you'll go down the road one day and there'll be one sat in a field.
Well, you never know, and they always say never say no, do you? You don't know what's going to happen. We did discuss it once before, and then, as you do, you start having a couple of drinks and start romancing again. But my sheds are full at the moment, so we'll have to just see, won't we, what happens.
Is there a car you would like to own that you haven't owned?
There's nothing I can particularly say that I've had my eye on that I've not. You know, I've come across things as you do all the time. I've got a rare Triumph that's in my shed, and there's always a story, as Matthewson's will tell you. Every car's got a story, and there's a story behind them. And that was a friend of mine, unfortunately, who died. And at his funeral, his sister said to me, I keep seeing you driving around in your old pickups and vans. She said, it's beautiful, you know, through the villages and stuff. And she said, I know where there's a car, a friend of mine has one. And she said, it's a Triumph. So I said, oh, yeah. I said, the 70s, I used to have the Dolomite, blah, blah, blah. And she said, no, it's pre-war. And I didn't know they did one. So we finished up, looked at this car completely in bread crates. It was in, 25 different bread crates, completely in pieces. And I just said, oh, it's a lifetime's work. I couldn't do that. So off we went. And a year later, she rung back and said, look, they're selling the bungalow. Come and have a look. So we finished up. It's in our house, in the garages there. So
still in crates.
We've put it back. We've put some of it back together. It looks more like a car now. My friend Robert, he rebuilt the engine. I started putting all the chassis and everything back together, and the axles, the wheels, and not everybody knows, but basically putting all the bits back on this vehicle, which something that you hadn't took apart, and this is 1930 stuff.
Yeah.
We can say it's simple, but some of it's got, it has auto lube on it, works off vacuum off the engine and things, which is unheard of, and it oils the springs, it's quite advanced for its day.
Yeah.
Very much so. And I managed to get through to the Triumph Club, and it's the pre-war Triumph Club, and they've told me there's only a couple of these vehicles, it's a very, very rare car.
Yeah.
It's a roadster, and it's a good-looking motor. So it's got the body on it now. It needs rewiring and various other things. I keep saying to myself, I'll get there. I keep having, life gets in the way.
Yes.
As people know who's doing vehicles up. So that's one that I keep having little sessions on, and then leave it for a few years, and then, have another little go at it.
But it will eventually get back on the road.
It's got 4 wheels and an engine that, you can drive it, but not on the road as in properly. But hopefully we'll get there with it.
And if somebody's interested in the Northwest Vintage Machinery Club, how do they find out about it?
Well, if they punch that in the good old Google there, it'll come up, and we have a full website there and everything, and you can print off your forms if anybody wants to bring anything to the next show next year, which is usually the first weekend in June. We try to stick to the same weekend just after the bank holiday.
Yeah, because it's quite an eclectic show, as you said. You've got steam traction engines, you've got classic cars, motorbikes, tractors. There's a big feature on Land Rovers this year.
Yeah, they're very
we have the Wigan Ukulele Band all there, playing modern pop songs on ukuleles.
This is it, yeah. It's good. It's a good show all round, and it's a good family show. It's a good local family show that we want everybody to come and have an ice cream and a pint and enjoy. We have an arena, so these vehicles, not every rally does, go around the arena. Like I say, you're interested in tractors, Land Rovers, whatever, cars, commercial vehicles, and obviously the steam, and they all have their own little slot to go into the rally. People talk about various things of the vehicle that they've come in, and it's very interesting, and it really is a good show, and most of all, everything goes to the charities.
And also, just for a complete novelty, Thwaites had one of the big Shire old drays in the arena. They are impressive.
What a beautiful outfit that was.
Yeah,
very much so. Yeah, you really don't see that very often.
From the good old days when breweries delivered to their local public houses with a pair of Shires, and the other thing was the drayman had to have a pint at every cup.
All right, that's the one.
Andrew Mawdsley, thank you very much indeed for joining me on the Backseat Driver, and all the best for your continuing adventures with Evening Star.
Yeah, and thank you very much for inviting me around. It's been a pleasure.
No problem.